into the midnight sun. Wheels go round and round. You're on.
The vanishing voice that stunned a nation. Breaking news rocked America's Got Talent fans when the very man who swept the nation off its feet with a humble heart and powerhouse vocals seemingly disappeared into thin air. Richard Goodall, the janitor turned superstar who soared from the quiet school hallways of Terre Haute to center stage under bright AGT lights, has left an echoing silence that fans still can't explain. After delivering a jaw-dropping performance that brought the judges to tears and earned a standing ovation from millions at home, Richard vanished like a magician without the final reveal. There were no follow-up interviews, no behind-the-scenes specials, no celebratory tour, just radio silence. The internet is buzzing with confusion. Where is Richard? Why has he ghosted the spotlight that once embraced him with open arms? Even his social media presence, once a blooming space of gratitude and humble updates, has gone cold. Did he walk away on purpose, or is something more serious hiding behind the curtain? As viewers scroll endlessly and fans post, "Where is Richard?" on every AGT page, a sense of mystery grows. One moment he was on every screen in America, and the next gone. From mop to mic, how a janitor stole the show. Before we dive deeper into the mystery of his disappearance, we need to rewind the clock and remember why Richard's rise was so magical in the first place. Imagine a soft-spoken janitor in his late 50s, quietly sweeping floors while secretly holding onto a voice that could shake the heavens. That's the story of Richard Goodall, the man who stunned AGT judges and melted America's heart with his raw rendition of "Don't Stop Believin'." His performance wasn't just technically impressive, it was emotionally explosive. People didn't just watch Richard, they felt every lyric, every note, every ounce of hope in his trembling hands. Suddenly, the world was hooked. Fans rushed to learn more about him, and overnight, he became the internet's favorite underdog. Clips of his audition went viral across platforms, drawing millions of views and reactions. In a world that often overlooks people like Richard, his story was a feel-good fairy tale that reminded us all that dreams can come true at any age. The day he won it all, and the night everything changed. America cheered as Richard Goodall clinched the AGT crown with a finale that left both audience and judges in awe. The applause was thunderous, and even Simon Cowell was visibly emotional, a rarity for the typically composed judge. It was more than a win, it was a cultural moment. Richard wasn't just a winner, he became a symbol. He represented every overlooked janitor, every silent talent, every person who'd ever been told they were too old or too late. With confetti falling, producers hugging him backstage, and prize money announced, the world anticipated a meteoric rise. Record deals, interviews, daytime talk shows, fans were ready for Richard's world tour. But as the days turned to weeks and the excitement began to settle, something unexpected happened. No talk show appearances, no teaser for new music, no major announcements from AGT producers. The cameras turned off, and so did Richard. The first red flag, silence from a new star. Weeks after his big win, Richard's fans expected the usual victory lap, TV interviews, behind-the-scenes documentaries, or at least a thank you post on Instagram. Instead, they got silence. Nothing from the man who once stood in front of millions and sang with the power of 100 lifetimes. His social media went dark. No public statements, no family updates, just nothing. The same fans who once shared his audition clips with pride began commenting with confusion and concern. "Where are you, Richard?" became a trending phrase in fan forums. Some speculated he was simply taking time to rest or adapt to fame. But others began to worry something darker was unfolding behind the scenes. It was as if Richard had pulled the plug on fame and retreated into the shadows. A few reporters even tried visiting his hometown for clues, but found no answers. Fan investigators go on the hunt. With Richard's continued silence, online communities morphed into full-blown investigative teams. Reddit threads, Facebook groups, even TikTok sleuths began tracing every possible clue to his whereabouts. Fans analyzed old videos for signs, revisited interviews for hidden meanings, and even scoured Google Street View for glimpses of his home in Terre Haute. The theories ranged from logical to wild. Some suggested he had gone off-grid due to anxiety. Others believed there was a contractual issue preventing him from speaking out. A few even speculated that Richard had secretly signed a deal and was preparing a surprise comeback, but no theory had evidence. It was all noise in a growing vacuum of truth. Even more confusing, AGT producers offered no comment, no updates, no teasers. It was as if the show had quietly moved on, leaving behind the very man they crowned a champion. Whispers from behind the curtains of fame. Behind the glamorous AGT stage lights, a different story quietly simmered, one fans never saw on camera. Whispers began surfacing from backstage crew, minor production staff, and even former contestants, hinting at what might have gone wrong after the win. Some claimed Richard was overwhelmed by sudden fame, struggling to adapt to the non-stop demands of press, producers, and public expectations. Others alleged there were disagreements behind the scenes over how his image would be marketed, some wanting to keep his humble janitor persona, while others pushed for a dramatic makeover. Tension reportedly rose when Richard, known for his soft-spoken demeanor, resisted major commercial branding, causing friction with talent managers and PR teams. There were even claims, unconfirmed but widely discussed, that Richard had a hard time trusting the very industry that had suddenly embraced him. For a man who lived most of his life in quiet halls, the blinding fame may have become more trap than triumph. Yet none of these rumors ever made it to headlines, perhaps silenced by contracts or loyalty. Family and friends keep the vault sealed. In any public mystery, the next step is always the same: go to those closest to the subject. But in Richard Goodall's case, even that path led to dead ends. Reporters contacted old colleagues, school staff, and even neighbors from his modest Terre Haute community, most of whom either declined to comment or claimed they hadn't seen him in months. One former coworker reportedly said, "Richard always kept to himself. If he's gone quiet, he has his reasons." A few distant relatives offered only brief, vague statements. "He's doing fine, just needs space." No details, no clarification, just a reinforced wall of silence. It's almost as if there's an unspoken agreement not to disturb him, or worse, protect him from something the public doesn't yet understand. This silence only adds fuel to theories that Richard may have faced personal battles post-act, possibly emotional or mental, that required stepping out of the spotlight. Yet without any confirmation, all fans can do is wait and speculate, caught between worry and respect. The reality check of showbiz burnout. Fame is a double-edged sword, and in Richard Goodall's case, that sword may have cut deeper than anyone realized. History shows us time and time again that reality talent shows can chew people up and spit them out faster than they can sign their first contract. From mental health breakdowns to predatory contracts, many AGT winners have struggled to maintain a stable career post-victory. And Richard, a man who spent most of his life in quiet service, may have been completely unprepared for the storm that followed his win. The music industry isn't a playground, it's a battlefield. There's pressure to monetize quickly, create a viral presence, agree to branding deals, and fit into a marketable mold. But Richard wasn't built like your typical pop star. He didn't crave fame. He craved connection. And when that connection became currency, he may have decided to walk away instead of selling out. It's not failure, it could be resistance, a silent protest, a personal decision. The sightings that sparked new hope. Just when the internet had nearly given up hope, small reports trickled in. Claims that Richard had been spotted at a low-key music event in Indiana, or seen quietly walking through a church parking lot in a neighboring town. One fan even uploaded a blurry photo to Reddit, swearing it was Richard in a baseball cap attending a local choir recital. These whispers weren't confirmations, but they reignited the conversation. Could he be living a quiet life close to home, far from the glare of stardom? Some believe he's working on music privately, crafting an album away from label pressure. Others think he's simply healing, mentally and emotionally, from the whiplash of sudden fame. Either way, these alleged sightings brought comfort to fans who feared the worst. If he's out there, he's alive, and maybe, just maybe, he's not done singing. Maybe the silence is just an intermission. A mystery that's not over yet. As we close this story, for now one thing is certain. Richard Goodall hasn't been forgotten. Fans still write letters. Social media pages still post throwback clips. AGT forums still light up whenever his name is mentioned. The silence around his disappearance hasn't weakened public love, it's amplified it. There's something about Richard's story that resonates deeply with people. The underdog victory, the emotional vulnerability, the proof that it's never too late to chase your dream. Whether he's gone for good or simply waiting for the right moment to re-emerge, Richard's impact remains. His voice lingers not just in recordings, but in the hearts of millions. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what he wanted. A legacy built on soul, not spectacle. Like, share, and subscribe if you still believe in the power of one